Another happy pod.
Hello there, and welcome to a very special Your Opinion Sucks Season 2, Episode 8. But not. Am I right, Garrett?
Yeah.
Why is it a very special episode of Not Your Opinion Sucks?
It's special because only two people who've shown up for the podcast are me and you, Harry.
That's true. But wait. We've brought a special person. Review yourself, special person.
It's me. It's Alex. It's not that special.
Really isn't, is it?
No.
It's been here a few times now, actually.
Yeah. You're basically a recurring character.
Kind of.
But you're kind of like Janice from Friends. Like, you show up. And
No
like,
one wants her.
yeah, like, if you showed up like a couple times per season, we'd be like, oh, okay, funny, haha. But you're showing up a bit too often.
Yeah, you become part of the main storyline and it just gets fucking old.
Yeah.
It's the second time.
Chandler, break up with her, for God's sake. Like, she's annoying. You know what I mean?
Is this our breakup?
Yeah? Yeah, right. So, Nathan and Lawrence aren't here. Lawrence has work, so he's busy at the kennel, looking after other dogs, and probably going out on another date. Who knows? Nathan, where's Nathan? Is he ill?
He's got the, what was it? Fucking swine flu or something?
Norovirus.
What difference?
Rest in peace, Nathan, who has a sort of bug that eats him from the inside out. We hope that he doesn't die.
In this time, let's remember our favourite Nathan moments playing now on screen.
Hello and welcome to Your Opinion Sucks.
Oh, that was really emotional, guys.
Wow.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Anyway, moving swiftly on.
Yep. Yeah, please go ahead. Move swiftly on.
So we played a video game last night. Me, Harry, and our flat.
Yes, you did.
It's sort of like the a spiritual successor to Heavy Rain and things like that. It was made by the guys who did Until Dawn, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's basically a story game, but we played the competitive mode because we were challenging each other for the belt, the prestigious dwelling belt, and you muted your mic.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Yeah, we're challenging each other for the prestigious dwelling belt. And it's basically a story game where you each sort of, try and steer the story. Because it's annoying because all of us have this, obviously, fantasy. Because we're men.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to be a detective. Because that's a cool fucking fantasy.
That's
yeah.
cool.
So we were trying to play this, legitimately. And then occasionally we'd get a prompt, a hidden agenda. Because that's the name of the game.
Yep.
You get a hidden agenda and it would say, okay, let the prisoner free. Or something like that.
Yeah. Which is clearly a bad idea.
Which is clearly a bad idea.
Yeah.
There are a lot of bad decisions in that game. One of the first ones being right at the beginning of the game. You need majority vote to do a lot of the actions, right?
Yeah.
So it's obviously if you're the guy with the hidden agenda, you want to try and coax people onto whichever one you are on.
Did it explain why you had a hidden agenda or that specific agenda?
We were playing the competitive mode, so there are two modes, the story mode.
Right,
and the
okay, that makes
competitive
more
mode.
sense.
So competitive
yeah.
mode, like each of us, or one of us in the small section where you
Yeah,
have
but
the
you just
agenda.
ruined the story. But if it's competitive, then it makes sense to have points.
Yeah.
I mean, the story, it very clearly bobs and weaves with whatever you choose. One of the first decisions that happens is you walk into an apartment where the trapper killer is, and he's got this woman on a bed, and he's about to trap kill her. So you assume, and you get the option. It literally says sometimes it's best to not shoot, and instantly Harry, Alex, and Scott all go, yeah, let's shoot this guy. Doesn't have a gun in his hand at all.
Okay.
Does not have a gun.
I was also.
We don't know it was him.
I'm pretty sure he had his hands up as well.
He was butt naked. He had the woman tied to the bed. We could see, as we burst in, we saw him tying her to the bed. And where it kept showing him looking at the gun. There's a gun on the table, and he had his hands up, and he was looking at the gun. I was in camp. Don't shoot him. I was trying to on my phone.
Still put your hand on the shoot.
I was trying to hover outside, but I think because it can't be too specific.
Right.
Otherwise, it makes the game very difficult.
Uh-huh.
If you're in the vicinity of the box, you just immediately bounce to it. I was trying to hover outside so that if he ever did reach for the gun, we could just go and shoot him. Unfortunately,
cap a fool. You could just cap a fool.
What does that mean?
Put a cap in his ass.
That fool.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I'm not down with that.
Well, anyway,
The kids.
they fire off a shot. I think it's obviously story driven, so it goes straight into his shoulder.
Yeah.
And then a loose wire from the ceiling. No, you shoot him in the shoulder. He drops some water on the floor.
Oh no, he breaks like a fish tank or something.
Oh no, it's doesn't it like somehow shoot through him into a fish tank or some shit.
Elaborate.
It was, yes.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this fish tank breaks. There's water all over the floor. The woman somehow gets up. Comes into the story later, and then a loose wire hits the ground in some sort of Final Destination bullshit, and she's electrocuted.
No. So we come in with a partner.
She dead?
We come in with a partner, right? And it is just Final Destination. There's fish water on the floor and a loose wire flapping about like zzz, zzz, and we hear the woman screaming, and I think like your partner just falls over or like gets ricochet shot or something. So he's on the ground like and then it comes up very quickly, save partner, save hostage, and we all go and we just we split in two. So two of us go save hostage, two of us go save partner.
I go save hostage. It's protect and serve.
Yeah.
I think I went save partner just because I thought...
But he only took a bullet, maybe.
We don't know. Either way, they both die, which, we're playing the protagonist. Not a good start to the game.
Instantly, we were like, okay, well, fuck. We are totally fucked. It came through the game. We made a lot of bad decisions. We could definitely tell. But then it started ramping up to the final Act 3, and we read on it that you get everyone gets an agenda at the end. So everyone is in on it. Everyone has something that they're trying to go for.
Yeah.
And it gets to the end, and I remember in Act 1, I think, this woman goes, how did you get here? And she goes, I was in a bar and I just woke up here. And I pushed that to the back of my mind because I was trying to like literally take note of everything. I was like looking at all the notes as if it would actually fucking matter. Got to the final hidden agenda, and you have a hint and you have an objective. Mine was to kill the killer. So I was essentially like, I was like chaotic good,
Sure.
Yeah, because I didn't want to take him in, all that shit. And my hint was, don't have a drink. So I was like, why would I not have a drink?
Yeah.
And I was literally like, oh, okay, that's why. So I was going to convince the other guys, and I did. I was like, I put that together. It didn't say that the person who was serving you drinks was going to kill you.
Yep.
It just said don't have a drink. So somehow you have to have a majority vote to win, and somehow they expected me to win when Harry's hint said don't take a drink.
No, my drink said my hint said do take a drink.
Right, it said do take a drink.
Yeah.
And Scott's hint also said the exact same thing. So if two people on the fucking table, it's
an automatic loss.
Both won't take both want to take a drink, and I'm the only person who's like, don't take a drink, I'm instantly out.
It was so frustrating because I think if I sat there and thought about some more, if we weren't doing competitive mode, if I didn't have that and I thought about some more, I think, you know what, the fact that the prompt came up to A, relax, or B, just question something more and don't take a drink, I would go for the don't take a drink thing.
Right.
Because it'd be like, I would, even if I didn't think of that, I'd be like, that's a bit suspicious. Mm-hmm. And then you started arguing about it, and I was like, he's absolutely right.
But it's probably my hidden agenda.
I have an agenda here.
Right, yeah, and your agenda says don't do it.
And so the three of us, me, Alex, and Scott, went a bit silent. And I was just like, but, it's just a waitress. I was trying to defend it as best I could, which was terrible, because you were just like, we don't know who she is. I'm like, it's just a waitress. We don't know. So I just
the other two completely silent as well.
I just sort of slowly went over to relax, take a drink, like, there's nothing to worry about. At which point, I think they both simultaneously just immediately go to take a drink. I'm like, this isn't right. Something's not going well.
Yeah.
So the character awakens in this room with the judge who sentenced the guy originally, who we let go because we're fucking idiots.
Right.
I think somebody's agenda.
I want to come back to that because that was fucking awful. Also.
Yeah, I can't remember whose agenda it was. I think it might have been mine at that time.
What,
to set the guy free?
No, it was mine.
Was your agenda?
Yeah, to not do it.
Or to not do it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So quick question then before we move on.
But yeah.
Because I haven't played the game.
Mm-hmm.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being Midsummer Murders and 10 being Mad on the Orient Express, how realistic was the game?
Realistic? Not really. It's quite hyper drama.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I guess it has to be.
You're playing a cop who, in the beginning, we had her, capture the killer, shoot him unnecessarily, have a partner and the hostage die.
Yeah.
And then it skipped to 5 years later where she, via some wonderful...
5 years? You missed that 5 years later on?
Yeah, because he's on death row.
Yeah, he's on death row.
He was sentenced to death, so he's on death row. 5 years later, through some wonderful radio in the car exposition, we learned that she was potentially a dirty cop who was mishandling evidence. At which point, there's a dickhead, like a proper dickhead, the classic sort of guy you come across on TV and films in the precinct, who was right to sort of question her, but went about it in like a really horrible way. He then later dies. And
fishy.
It's fishy, and we've seen it from her perspective, and we can assume that it's not her because we're playing as her, though it's very possible.
Yeah, we were still. I was very much in the camp that it very well could be the person you're playing as, because these kind of games do that a lot. So I still like maybe, which then did somewhat pay off at the end, because the twist at the end is that she gets framed for it. Yeah, which did nearly pay off until we fucked it.
Yeah.
How did you fuck it?
So we take the drink, right? Well, I'm like, oh fuck! I instantly can't win. We wake up with the judge who sentenced the guy, who also sentenced something previously, and I was like, okay. I remember when I saw that, I was like, oh, he's clearly the next target, or whatever. It gets there. He's like, in Dark Knight, when the fat guy's got a phone in him.
Yes,
it's that, but you can very clearly see the screen with like a countdown timer.
Yeah,
and the trapper killer rings you and is like, hey, there's enough explosives to level the entire floor you're on. You try and escape, it goes off. You try and get the bomb out, it goes off, all that kind of shit. And the more panicked the guy gets, the faster it goes, because it ticks down with his heartbeat, right? So I can't remember who it was. I was just like, let's keep him calm. And then one of them was literally like, oh my god, or something like that. It was like, don't give up on me. Oh my god. Instead of just like, keep calm, it's okay. And then they were like, yeah, let's do that one. So we stood there, like going like, oh my god, keep, just don't. And the thing was going down. He was just like, what's going on? Hell, what's going on? And then they're like, the only way to do it to stop the bomb is to stop his heart, right? And then obviously instantly we're like, our character would then go down. So at that point I knew, because I knew that somebody's thing was to take a drink. I didn't think it would be two people, which is bullshit, but I knew somebody's thing was to take a drink, and that somebody's thing would be to kill the judge. So I was like, whoever it is, I know somebody's probably already completed their objective and will have won. But I fucking knew whoever had to kill the judge, I'm not going to let that happen. And I also thought, there might be a way to. I thought it might be like a Joker thing. Where the two boats won't actually explode.
Oh, okay.
I was wrong.
And it blew up in the worst designed explosion ever. Like legit, it was like
It was like PS1 graphics.
It was Birdemic.
Wow.
Like it showed the outside of a nicely rendered sort of rainy apartment, and then it was just like a crappy fireball. Like the glass didn't break. There was no explosion coming from the window. It was just a little fireball going.
Yeah, I think.
Really?
I literally think it was just the camera shook a little bit, and then just like 2D fire effect, just like.
So I want to go back to a dumb moment where so the guy that you captured, he's on death row, and he tries to tell you that it wasn't him that was actually the trapper killer. It was a friend of his from an orphanage, because they had a terrible, priest rapey time in an orphanage.
And it lines up because a lot of the victims had ties to it. And you get permission from the judge that sentenced him to have a 3 hours monitored release to go to the place that he believes the actual killer is hiding, to investigate with the people and give the policeman that we're playing as more information. And the section comes up, and I have the hidden agenda, which is do not let Finn, the killer, escape. And I was like, cool, that sounds easy enough. At which point he comes to the house, and he's being very creepy and sort of trying to convince you and stuff. And I'm thinking, this is going pretty well. I'm I think you caught on to the fact it was me. Somewhat.
Yeah,
but I still think it was the correct thing to do.
Yeah, I was honestly like, I'm playing this exactly how I play it. And so it comes to the point where he's trying to convince you that this random killer, who has literally come out of death row 48 hours before he's supposed to be executed, then says to you, hey, do you know what's a good idea? If you pretend to be hurt by me and then let me go, and then I'll go find the actual killer and like bring him into you. Like that sounds like a great plan. And I was like, no, that's just not a good plan
Yeah.
at all. That's in fact the worst plan
So not only did Harry have the logical option
that I believed in.
Yeah, I pretty much believed in too, until Alex, who was a kind of like well, the other side of the room, which is not very far, but he just goes, "I trust him wholeheartedly," and then just puts his like pointer on release.
The other three start laughing, and I'm thinking to myself, shit, okay, he's winning with comedy. And I'm trying to be like, no, that's such a stupid idea. We can't let a convicted serial killer, go into the streets. And he goes, with gusto.
Yeah.
And it just immediately.
With gusto just got me.
Yeah. So he managed to convince them.
Let a killer back out on the streets.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, guys.
Not me. It's not me.
Well, okay, right, but the dude did turn out to have some information, but we didn't get to find out because we took a fucking drink.
I have no defense for that. I was.
Where are these drinks appearing from?
We just went to a bar with a very
District
dodgy
attorney.
friend of ours, a district attorney who thought it was okay to just show up at crime scenes in a hoodie.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, we went to a crime scene, which we shouldn't be doing anyway, to reinvestigate because we fucked up the first time.
Yeah.
Even though very clearly this massive GoPro-sized camera falls out of it falls out of a painting. We see it as the audience. They couldn't have just done like a something fell, ambiguous type thing. They were like, hey, this fell on the floor, and then no one noticed it. No one went back into the crime scene where the body still was and saw this fucking GoPro-sized camera on the floor. So yeah, you go back in, you see the camera, she hooks up to her phone because it's that easy, and sees that it's a prostitute or something.
Nice.
Yeah. And then after that, you decide to go get a drink with the person who's sneaking around the crime scene.
Okay, but as a whole, how was it?
It's enjoyable, but I feel like we got the worst ending ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
But would you say it's your own fault?
Absolutely.
Oh no, it's because we're so stubborn. It genuinely is. I think releasing him was the right thing to do if we would have got if we would have not taken a fucking drink.
If you were to go full Sherlock about it, all four of you, do you reckon you'd have come to a good conclusion? Or do you reckon at some point, because you're all massive idiots, that your, I don't know, comedic effect, which you'd love to have even though no one's watching, would have taken over?
I think the way I explained it yesterday is that there was me who was definitely playing it like it was actual detective game, because I enjoy that.
Yeah,
I enjoy sort of losing it.
I did see at one point when one of the decisions was made, I think it was letting him free, like he was genuinely just sat there like dejected, like I was like, this is your fantasy. You're just getting ruined.
Garrett, because it was a competition for the belt,
took it seriously.
Was just going, all out Rain Man. For it.
We went into the last bit. I was on 300. You were on 250, and then it was like 200 and 150.
Yeah.
So Watson didn't care, and Watson won.
He was the guy with 150 at the end, and he somehow got his objective, which was
I think to kill the police officer.
To have the judge die.
No, to have them both die.
Have them both die.
Yeah.
Well, because I think his objective might have been able to be completed either way, which is
good.
It's probably given to you by how much points you have at the end.
Oh, yeah, that does make sense.
Because the killer isn't even in the vicinity for my bit, so there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
Because we took a drink, there's nothing I can do. I feel like that she might have been able to die either way, possibly. I don't know. We have to replay it, but
yeah.
Yeah.
It was also frustrating because my task was to leave. It was just called Becky on the Run. Becky being the police officer. And so there just came a single option of, flee or stay. But you'd suddenly gone, so angry because you'd been screwed over. You were like, no, we need to deal with it. So I sort of very slowly put my thing over to flee. And it was just completely blown out of the way. And I was like, shit, I fucked it.
Yeah.
It got to the point where the gunshot bit came up to kill the judge.
Yeah.
And there are these things called takeover cards, which you get through doing like quick time events through the actual story.
Yeah.
And you can press that, and then you take control of the entire thing, and you can decide.
Okay, cool.
So we were like debating as the timer was going down. Scott uses it, and I'm like, okay, cool. I knew it was Scott's thing to kill him. So I have like 4 takeover cards. So every time he's like about to get to it, I use another takeover card, and I just let it go down. And Scott's like, no, just can we just Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you put on some? No, you
I didn't mean to. I touched something.
That's okay.
I'm not touching that anymore.
Genuinely though, a lot of fun.
Do you want to come over and play it with us?
Yeah, I will actually. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
You're gonna get fucking destroyed.
Moving on.
Yeah. That was 20 minutes about one game. I'm proud of us.
Yeah.
Do you have a game that you wish to discuss? Or anything?
No, I don't actually, because I did ask Garrett what would be the topic.
Yeah, this is true. It is Garrett's topic, but, seeing as the other two aren't here,
That's fair.
yeah, we'll save it for them. What should we talk about now, boys? I feel like this is a very chill
Chill pod.
episode. Like
It's a filler.
I kept bringing you back with questions. Like, how's the game? What's going on?
yeah, it's another chill pod.
Yeah. Fillers are strong.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Oh.
Hold on, sorry. I need to just.
Do you know what's great? And actually, as Nathan said that you're editing this, or are you going to give it to him?
Oh, I'm editing it.
Oh damn! I was going to say it would be great if
Or do you want him to edit it?
No, I was going to say if you gave this to him, he's not going to look at the audio bar, so it's just going to be a big fuck off sneeze. And he's just going to be like listening. I'm not
I
going to
always
make it.
sneeze like this.
Okay. As actors, what do you find one of the hardest things to do?
Ooh, that's
fake laughing. I'm not good on that one.
When I get my results, fake smiling, being fake happy with them. This is really good, thank you.
What is it that you find about fake laughing so difficult?
I don't know, because I rarely laugh, and my laugh sort of changes as well. I don't have like a distinct one.
Yeah,
Because you have.
I don't have that like Jimmy Carr inhale like kind of laugh, or like fucking Michael McIntyre laugh. I just occasionally get wheezy, or like you've heard my laugh. It changes.
I know.
Like if you were to pin down my laugh, would you be able to?
No, not at all. It's just a lot of squinting and rolling back, going.
It's his eyes.
Sometimes
it's all in the eyes.
Sometimes there's no audio to my laugh at all. But yeah, that doesn't always play off well on stage, So fake laughing, definitely.
Dying's one, isn't it?
Dying's a hard one.
Dying's a hard one.
Waking up on camera.
Yes.
Waking up
Yeah.
is incredibly hard because you don't know what you look like when you sleep.
Oh my god!
Especially when a director says to you, "You just had a bad dream," and you wake up and you're like, and then especially when it's like student directors and stuff, and they just say, "Oh, that's good."
Have you ever ate on
I'm
camera?
Yes.
I
ate as an extra in the background once.
Oh no, I did a short film in Bath.
Yeah.
Where I was kind of like the main dude in this thing, and I had to eat, but I take massive mouthfuls. So by the end of this scene, and this is no understatement here, I went through 9 sandwiches.
Yeah, because they have to
because
keep
all the
redoing
different
it, right?
angles.
Jesus.
And so
Yeah.
they had to keep bringing these Tesco meal deal ham sandwiches, plain ham sandwiches, because I don't like anything else as well. It's just not.
Wait, was it part of the scene where you had to eat the entire
it's
sandwich?
yeah.
Okay, that's so weird.
Yeah,
Did you get like a spit bucket and stuff?
No, but they said you want to take a break. I will need like half-hour break, and they filmed a different scene. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to go again for my second round of 5 sandwiches.
Wow.
My one, I went to go do the extra work because I hadn't done it before. Olivia showed up as well, and I was just like, oh shit, cool, this is someone I know here. I'm pretty sure there was someone else from the course as well, but they've now left. But yeah, so we were like in the background, and it was a 3-day thing that we were there for. First day they get these like Tesco's ready meals. One of them is like fucking carbonara, and then they broke up like a garlic bread, and then they shoved it on a plate. They put it in front of you, and we're in the background. We're most likely out of focus. I don't know because it's not really. I'm not going to go up to the fucking camera guy and be like, "Oh yeah, so like, how much of me is in the shot?" Because I'm a fucking extra. I'm just in the background, like completely miming to Olivia having this conversation. We were literally just like having proper conversations through mime, and then I think at one point she goes, This is okay. So on the first day, we like jokingly like lift food to our mouths, put it down because you probably can't see us. So we're just like talking. I'm like looking at a notebook or some shit like that because it's like this office cafeteria, right?
Yeah. What was it for? Quickly.
it was for a film called Love Type D, which was, I think, kickstarted. It's as weird and stupid as it sounds, and it hasn't come out. Google Love Type D.
I'm doing it right now.
Don't want to.
So it's a story, if I remember correctly. I didn't know anything about it until because I got there early on the first day because I had no idea what I was even supposed to be doing, and it was really far. I had to get like a shuttle out to Westfield Studios, I think. And then I got there really early, so they sent a guy in a car, and he was like, "Yeah, that. Oh, they put 2018 now. Is it actually going to happen?"
This site can't be reached. Well,
try it again.
Do you know who's in it?
Put it on the other screen. It might have internet on the other screen. Yeah. Yeah, I met
9.
Colin Firth's son.
Yes, I remember you saying, yeah.
Really, really, really sweet dude. But I don't know if this film is ever coming out. The story is about they've figured out in your DNA what gene or whatever is to do with love, and you know when you will be forever alone and that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And it's like D or something, D type blood or some bullshit. I don't know. Because I was again an extra because I was literally talking to the director. I was like, hey, can I help with anything? Because obviously I'm way early. She's like, yeah, take the script down to whoever the actress was. I recognized her, but I didn't know her, so I was just like, here is your script, bye. Weird times, but yeah. So it got to the third day of shooting. A lot of the people were just sent away, and they to me were like, yeah, okay, just bring 3 different shirts and blazers and all that kind of shit, because they don't. It's not big budget. It was a pretty big production, like the big cameras and everything. But you get there, and the third day, they still had the ready meals from the first day.
Oh.
And I shit you not, there's the should they ever use any of these takes, because I remember there was one where I think they did 2, and in both of those takes, Olivia goes, "I fucking dare you," and I get this moldy chip essentially, and I put it in my mouth, and I retch, and it's. So I'm in the background while Will Firth is just like having a normal conversation. I'm just going.
I hope there's sound for it. I hope we can hear it very faintly in the background.
This is this chip in my mouth, and it just goes onto the floor.
Oh god!
I did a short film recently when I got back from China, and I was physically fit, and no one told the guy that after China I wasn't physically fit. I just ate for 3 months, and so I got a message off of this guy saying, "Hi, we're looking for someone like you who's physically fit and in good shape. And I send photos of you, and you look in really good shape." I kind of looked down at this time. It was my birthday. I was like, okay. And I went to film this, and he's like, yeah, really easy. Just going to need you to like deadlift this log. No joke, it's a log. So when it comes out, I will show you the log.
Right.
Can you do just 25 clap press-ups, and then like maybe 50 pull-ups just for this thing we're going for? Jeez. I was like, yeah, okay, cool. And the idea was really cool.
Yeah.
It was the be the best you can, like army advert, but then for a lollipop man.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, it was really funny. I was like, oh, that's a cool idea. But I couldn't pick up the log. They kind of like 2 men hoist it onto my back, and then I like squatted.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And did that. Came to the pull-ups, they were a no. And the clap press-ups looked kind of cool. And I jogged around the park for a little bit, and this guy's had his drone filming, and he nearly dropped the drone into the Thames as well.
You can't do that without a permit, having a drone.
No, he said that as well, and his phone was saying, "You're not licensed in this area."
Yeah.
Because on the map, his phone was like, "No, you can't do it." He's like, and he crashed it.
Wow.
I had something like that. It was for like it was someone's course thing. It wasn't like an actual advert.
Same. So that was same.
Yeah. So it was an advert for shoes where this woman is running, and I'm doing parkour.
Parkour.
I used to do parkour. I did it for like 4 years, and I was really good. But this is now about six years ago, really, that I practically stopped doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I told them this. I said, yeah, because it was Tom that messaged me about it, because it was his friend Chris. You've met Chris.
Yes.
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, I got this vision for whatever. And I said, like, okay, I'll get you in contact with people I used to do it with. They got in contact with him. He was like, yeah, I'll have £100 or whatever, which is pretty fair coming up from Plymouth. And Yeah, so there's just me awkwardly jumping because he like bailed on the last day. I didn't even have shorts at the time. I was wearing like fucking swimming trunks, I think. Trying to do shitty parkour around London.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did any people look at you like they knew they could do it better than you?
Oh, for sure. Like I said to them, just go to fucking the BFI where all those guys do parkour and just be like, hey guys, who wants 20 quid?
Yeah.
But no, me.
That's what I thought. I was like, walk into your local gym, mate.
Yeah.
And you probably find someone fitter and better looking than me.
But can they act as good as you?
Well, then...
Judging by your most recent mock, yes. Sorry. That's me. Boom.
That's too low. That's too low. 62 low.
I haven't done...
64.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I haven't done many short films, but the first one that I've done, was... So, I come from Hawley in Surrey, and the train up to London is pretty direct because it's the same one that goes straight to Brighton and through Gatwick Airport. So,
oh yeah, I know that one.
You're aware of that one,
yeah.
And so I had a girl, because whilst I was at college, who was also at another college, come in to get actors, and she lived in Purley. So on the day, I auditioned for it. I got the part, and I didn't know anyone. I didn't know her at all. At which point she says, okay, can you guys get to Purley for 4 o'clock? So I'm like, yep, cool, I'll do that. I turn up at 4, and I'm literally walking down the street by myself, like 2 seconds from her house. In fact, I stop outside her house, at which point I look at my phone to see that I've received a text saying, hey guys, sorry, we're going to push it back from 4 till 7. So I was like, but I am here. Not texting her, thinking to myself, but I am here. So I then just go back home. Like it's like a half an hour journey,
right?
It maybe even a bit more for me to walk back to the station, get the next train back to my station, then walk home back to walk from my station back to home.
Yeah.
So I sit about 15 minutes at home, like, cool, right? I'm back out again. I go back out, and I'm supposed to be playing this like boyfriend who's unhappy with this girl, because the protagonist was this girl who was at a party. The whole situation was a house party. And she got like ridiculously drunk and high and stuff. And the most difficult thing I've had to do was me standing there as an already very shy and awkward person whenever I meet new people, is stand there with a beer in hand, looking quite sorry for myself. And then the director coming up to me and go like, Harry, can you come outside for a second? I come outside to find just a bunch of guys smoking weed. And she goes, oh, can you just sit with them? And I was like, oh, okay, sure. I don't know the marijuana, but sure. So I sit there with them. And they start chatting with me, at which point I just hear really far away, action. And I'm like, shit, the fuck am I supposed to be doing? She hasn't said a word to me. All she said was sit here. So I'm sitting there still like trying to have a good conversation, at which point the camera comes right over to me and right in my face. And so I'm like, shit, react. And so I'm like, what? And I'm looking at the camera, at which point the director says, oh, this part's going to be silent. It's like the camera is the girl, and you're supposed to be annoyed at her for being drunk and high. And so I was like, oh, okay. And so I'm like, oh, what is it? Are you drunk and high again? Because I have no idea what's going on. So I'm trying to... It's supposed to be one of those things where you're not entirely sure what he's saying, but I'm mouthing it so, like, obviously you can just see me like, oh, you're high and drunk again. Oh my God, you're always like this. I can't believe it. And I'm getting angry and angry. And she goes, yeah, grab the camera. So I went back and watched it, and I wish I could find it now because it's so cringy. You can just see me grabbing the camera and, like, all the guys behind me are just laughing their tits off because it's just the worst thing they've ever seen. But you can see me trying to hide my smile, being like, oh my God, you're high again, aren't you? And then I went home after drinking 1 beer.
Did you go home high?
No, I didn't smoke or anything. I just had a beer, and like after that scene, I was still hanging about, expecting another one to come up. I did 2 things. I did one in the bedroom. I was acting as a dickhead boyfriend, and then the one outside. And then the director said, "Oh yeah, just hang about for a bit." And I was like, "Sure." And I tried to sort of make friends, and then at the party, which was an actual party, it was actually her friends. That not many people were actual actors. They started to leave, and so I'm like, I'm just in this woman's living room, talking to a random guy who's playing like Mario Kart Wii, and should I still be here? And she comes back in full and goes, "Oh, you're still here." I'm like, yeah. do you not want me? Oh, no, it's fine. You can go home. I'm like, oh, sure. It's like 11 o'clock. I'll give my dad a call. So, yeah, that was a horrible, horrible first experience for short student films.
How long ago was that? Was that A level?
Yeah, AS.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, has anyone acted alongside or near a girl or opposite sex or same sex that they like?
That I
Like or have been with?
Yes.
Or be with?
Yes.
On camera, on stage, or whatever?
Both.
Oh, yeah.
Both with the same person.
What's it like? I've never done it.
It's not great.
Good. That one was
my one was an interesting experience because, you know, it sort of helped the scene with how sexually charged it was. Because luckily the character in the scene was, you know, quite horny and, you know, wanted to be with this woman but couldn't. And I was like, yeah, that's me. So yeah, it actually worked out kind of well.
Fair.
Jared?
Well, you know, it was a time of my life. So long ago. It was last year.
The foreign lands of last year.
The long time ago of last year.
Near Rohan.
Yeah.
Sure.
It was when me and my girlfriend Kate had broken up, as I'm sure viewers and listeners know.
The avid viewers.
But it just seemed as though no matter what happened, whoever decided to cast in whatever it was decided, you know what would be great? You know what would be absolutely fantabulous?
What?
Garrett and Kate.
Frantic Assembly.
Yeah, we were doing Frantic Assembly. It was a week-long thing, as you know. And Simon, the chirpy guy that he is, maybe he had a little bit too much protein powder in his kelp shake that morning. he was like, right, I know it's Thursday, and you know you're performing tomorrow, but I know you've been practicing with Emily Devlin the entire time, and you do that like weird thing together. Yeah. Well, okay. You're now with Kate, and the line I'm pretty sure was like,
knew.
The line was, I'm almost positive that he knew about us, because I think I might have even said it. The line was like, oh, you can do a lot in, because he wrote it or some shit. It was like, you can do a lot in a theatre or whatever, or it's not cheating in a theatre. And then me and Emily would look at each other, and then as if that's supposed to get a laugh, and then we'd be like, oh, it's not cheating in a theatre, so we run off and like start fucking backstage. But suddenly now it's me and Kate. So that happened. But then also, me and Kate have like this stupid, weird, Frantic Assembly dance thing, which is essentially just us fucking without our with clothes on. So he's like, all right, cool, that and then that, as if it's like some sort of follow-on narrative. And then also in a short film that it was about me committing suicide while I was incredibly depressed, Lawrence goes, you know what, you and Kate, you guys are going to be a couple in it.
It's almost like I knew the answer to this question.
Almost. We're pulling the strings.
But no, we are very much okay now.
No one asked.
All right, cool.
That was just for you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I promise.
No, we're okay now.
It's fine.
So I'd never experienced it, so I thought I'd ask.
Okay, good. Have you ever been fucking bold in a performance? You ever had a director hit on you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you have?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
I had to rape someone on stage.
Yeah, I did too.
Oh, I don't know why I laughed.
But actually, that was difficult as well.
Yeah.
Because, you know...
How was that?
Because yours was rape of someone that's similar age to you in the performance.
Yeah.
Mine was having sex with a 14-year-old. Obviously, someone.
It
was Jerry playing a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
She invited my character to do so in a sense, but obviously the character's 14, so it's like, you know, it's rape anyway, regardless.
Yeah.
And then she eats cake while she's having a monologue while I'm inside her. Acting's great, man.
She equally raped you, though, didn't she? Well, she didn't rape you because she can't rape you.
No, my character was like 30, so no.
But she stood above you with a knife.
Oh yeah, that part. She did try and fuck me while holding a knife to me.
Making
2 rapes don't make a right.
No,
That wasn't a joke.
it's still funny.
Yeah.
It's also not a thing, but I want it to be.
It is a really awkward thing when you're acting with someone else, regardless. Like especially when it's like physical contact stuff, and it's because when you're in the rehearsal space, you break down those barriers anyway.
Yeah.
Like doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. But even so, it's like is this okay type deal?
Yeah. That's a big part of it, because you want it on so many levels to be coherent with the story. Because we had to do a lot of cutting for it to cut down the play to the size that we had to perform it in. We had to make sure it matched the story. It didn't feel out of place, but it still had to be in there because it was such a key part of it. And it was trying to make it stylistically pleasing so that it wasn't confusing or it couldn't be misinterpreted, but also realistic because it was a horrible thing. And I feel like a melodramatic, showing of it would have completely, undermined the play itself and also the act of it,
Mm-hmm.
I've only done like 1 kiss on stage. That's it. And that was when I was in AS.
Never done that.
What, a kiss?
I was only on
Never.
that's literally like a peck on the lips. I did a peck on the hand for Caucasian,
Yeah.
and then a peck on the cheek for birthday. But that was pecks in uni. That's all I've had, pecks.
Well, clearly not for that short film you did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The one where you weren't fit. You're not in the same conversation.
Yeah, I know. I just think it wasn't a fast. We were slow there, Harry. It was a good joke. We were slow.
Whatever.
Pecs. I was fat. For the
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Didn't have.
Great.
I don't expect fitness jokes from Garrett. That's
No, it's weird.
yeah. You can't blame us there, mate.
He's made more recently. It's weird.
You trying to get buffing? I know what I said,
Thank you very much for listening to Your Opinion Sucks.
but not your opinion sucks. I've been Harry.
I've been Garrett.
I've been Alex.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Another happy pod.
Another happy pod.